All right, let's get right into it. When you think of the Greek god Hermes, I bet a very specific image pops into your head. But what if I told you that the speedy messenger we all know is actually one of the most brilliant and maybe one of the most dangerous minds on Mount Olympus? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Hermes, the divine architect of deception.
So let's just start with that basic question. Who is Hermes, really? Just take a second. What are the first things that come to mind? What's his whole deal? I'm guessing your answers probably look a lot like this. He's the messenger, he's got those cool winged sandals, he's ridiculously fast, and he's the guy travelers pray to. And look, you're not wrong. But that's kind of like saying a master spy is just really good at delivering the mail. It's only the surface, and the real story, it's so much better. You see, Hermes' core identity, his real superpower, isn't about speed at all. It's about cunning. He isn't just a divine courier, he is the original architect of deception. And what's so wild is that this wasn't some skill he picked up over the centuries. This nature, this incredible gift for strategic thinking and clever manipulation, was baked into his DNA from the very second he was born. And the proof? Well, it's one of the greatest stories in all of Greek mythology. And that brings us to the absolutely legendary theft of Apollo's sacred cattle. A crime pulled off by Hermes when he was, and I'm not kidding, a newborn baby. Seriously, just let that sink in for a moment. He's maybe a few hours old, and he's already a master thief. He hops out of his cradle, finds his older brother Apollo's most prized herd of cattle, and decides, I'm gonna steal these. This wasn't just some baby mischief. This was him announcing to the world exactly who he was. And his plan shows off his genius. This wasn't a smash and grab. Oh no, he had a meticulous 4-step plan. First, deception. He makes the cattle walk backwards to their hiding place, so their tracks point the wrong way. Then, he disguises his own tiny footprints by weaving these giant wicker sandals, making it look like some huge monster was stomping around. Third, absolute brilliance. He sacrifices 2 of the cows, finds a tortoise, and right there on the spot, he invents the lyre from the shell and the cow guts. And finally, the best part, the linguistic wit. When he's eventually caught, he looks his all-powerful father Zeus right in the eye and denies everything, swearing he's just a baby who was born yesterday and doesn't even know what a cow is. And here's the kicker. It totally worked. Zeus, the king of the gods, isn't furious. He's impressed. He just starts laughing at the absolute audacity and the incredible mind of his newborn son. Hermes managed to turn a crime punishable by death into a masterclass performance. Now, of course, Zeus still tells him, okay, that was great, now return the cattle. The order had to be restored. But this is where Hermes' real genius kicks in. He doesn't just apologize and give them back. Oh no. He negotiates. So on the way back, he starts playing that lyre he invented, and Apollo, the god of music, is absolutely captivated. He's never heard anything so beautiful, so Apollo offers to trade the entire herd just for the instrument, and Hermes agrees. Then later, Hermes invents the panpipes and trades those to Apollo for his golden staff, which becomes the famous caduceus, and for the secrets of prophecy. Think about that. He started as a thief and walked away from his own crime with more wealth and power than he had before. He's not just a trickster, he's the god of commerce. But Hermes' cunning wasn't just for making a profit, it was also a weapon. And sometimes it was the deadliest weapon the Olympians had. Which brings us to the story of how he slayed Argus Panoptus, the all-seeing giant. So the mission sounds simple enough. Zeus needs his lover, the nymph Io, rescued. The problem? Hera, Zeus's jealous wife, put her best guardian on the job, a giant named Argus, who was covered in 100 eyes. And here's the thing, only a few of those eyes would ever sleep at the same time. He was literally always watching. So how do you get past a guard who never, ever looks away? Well, a god like Ares would have just charged in, swinging a sword, and it would have been useless. Hermes knew that. So his weapon wasn't a sword, it was charm. He disguised himself as a simple shepherd, sat down next to this 100-eyed monster, and just started talking. He played his pipes, told these long, droning, mind-numbingly boring stories, until one by one, every single one of Argus's 100 eyes drifted shut. And only then, once the giant was completely asleep, did he strike. For this incredible feat, he was given a permanent title, Argifontes, which means Argus Slayer. Think about that. It's a warrior's title, a name earned in battle, but he earned it without a fight, proving that a well-told story can be way more powerful than a well-aimed spear. And this way of thinking, this strategic mindset, wasn't just something he kept to himself. Hermes passed this knowledge on, not just by mentoring heroes, but literally passing his cunning down through his own bloodline. I mean, just look at how he helped the hero Perseus. Perseus had to defeat Medusa. So what did Hermes do? He didn't tell him to just charge in there. He taught him strategy. He told him how to find the gray eye, 3 sisters sharing a single eye, and to steal that eye to blackmail them for information. Then he gave Perseus the cap of invisibility. He didn't give the hero more strength. He gave him the tools of pure stealth and deception. And this trait, this divine spark of pure cunning, was literally hereditary. You can trace this lineage of tricksters, and it all starts right here with Hermes. He passed it down to his son, a mortal named Autolycus, who became legendary in his own right as the Prince of Thieves, inheriting all of his father's talent for trickery. And through Autolycus, Hermes is the grandfather of, wait for it, Odysseus, the hero of the Odyssey, a man whose entire identity is built on his cleverness and his ability to outthink his enemies. The Trojan horse? That is pure 100% Hermes-style thinking. So when you put all these pieces together, the cattle theft, the trade, slaying Argus, mentoring heroes, you start to get a really clear picture of what Hermes is all about. I think the best way to put it is this. Hermes is a master locksmith. While other gods, like Ares or even Zeus, would just use a battering ram to smash down a door, Hermes is the one who walks up calmly, studies the lock, finds the weakness in the mechanism, and just slides it open. He slips right through without leaving so much as a scratch. He doesn't overpower obstacles, he just goes around them. And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? In a pantheon full of gods who command thunderbolts and earthquakes and armies, if brute force is what builds the walls, but pure wit is what allows you to walk right through them like they're not even there, who would you say is truly the more powerful?